Hey, welcome back everybody. Alright, and welcome back to another Phantom Fun Day. We better get the lights turned on here. And well, Phantom is certainly living up to her name all of a sudden. Huh. Yeah. Our Phantom became a... It seems our Phantom became a Phantom. Huh. Well, congratulations to McDonnell, I suppose. It only took them 67 years for them to make a stealth Phantom. Jokes aside, there's a reason why the F-4 is not in our hangar right now, and it was a request that that we got from Lone Star Flight Museum. They inducted 3 pilots into the Aviation Hall of Fame on Friday, and one of the recipients of that flew F-4 Phantoms in Vietnam. He was in the Navy, I believe. Later went on and flew A-4s and was also a Blue Angel. So hopefully I can get a little bit more on that when we get over there. So Lone Star asked us for the F-4, and we helped him out with that to bring her over as a display for a couple of days. From what I understand, the F-4 as a display was going to be a total surprise. So I'll try to get some more information about the inductees into the Aviation Hall of Fame over there from Friday. In the meantime though, we gotta get some of this equipment out of here because we're actually gonna go bring the F-4 back here so we can continue working on her. In addition, our A-4 Skyhawk should be flying today. We're gonna be launching her out. She's over at the museum as well, so we'll get to see her here shortly. But in the meantime, I gotta get this equipment out of here first and the door open. All right, Tug, I know you and your battery aren't the best of friends, but please start. Neutral. Never doubted it for a second. Yeah, there we are. All right, off to Lone Star we go. A lot of fun stuff over here at Lone Star. Even that B-25 back there, she's undergoing annual if I'm not mistaken, but it's not what we're here for. There's our A-4. There's our baby. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, yes. Alright, have to get the canopy open for too long. Nope, she's gonna need air. Any more? Awesome, you're good. Alright, you got that, Jack? Alright, now to get up into the perch. We'll be seeing you again in a few weeks.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, us too. We could possibly toss that up on a wing, maybe?
Yeah.
You got both trucks, I think, right?
Yeah, they're up on the front.
We're good. And now comes that moment of, I forgot to mount all the other GoPros around the airplane for towing her. Dang it. All right, back home.
Back from taking the Phantom on the wall.
It's also time for me to jump out and help walk the wing. All right, now we're just lining her up. Thankfully it hasn't rained, so there's our tire marks from when we took her out. We'll just line them back up on our marks. And then we'll get her safely inside. All right, back safely. Now to go get the A-4. Alright, safer entry procedures, head knockers down.
Very hard to get out.
And everything else is looking good. Alright, nice and easy. Now, given the choice of riding brakes between the F4 and the A4, oh, I'll take the F4 any day of the week. This thing is, I'm not a claustrophobic guy, but this is a very small and tight cockpit. Oh, that T6 back there sounds pretty good. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. But I'm sitting in the seat and my knees are almost into the instrument panel. From a design standpoint, I do like the handles of some of these controls. Like this one is very clearly the landing gear. That one's in the shape of the tail hook. I like it. That's pretty neat. But this, wow, this is just a small cockpit, man. Here, I'll give you guys a little tour. Oxygen hose, fuse panel, AFCS. All right, I suppose it's time to open the box of fun. So I remember putting up a community post with a picture of that box for you guys to possibly guess as to what it is. Had some good guesses in there. Is beer. That would be nice, but not terribly useful here at the hangar, but that would be tasty. And another guess was a starting cartridge, and if that was what was in the box, we would never put it in the jet. We don't want the fire hazard. A little too risky for us for that. But let's open it up and find out what the heck is inside here. So I'm excited to see it. All right, so let's see what we got. Come on now. There we go. Yay, packing peanuts, just what I wanted. Oh man. Oh. I got an honest to God flight deck cranial, guys. And this one was done up custom, so, and that's all in the reflective tape. Even better is this side. It's freaking cool. So another one of the guys on the heat blur team did this. And Lance, thank you so much for this. This is freaking awesome. Now I gotta see if this thing fits. It's very similar to the one I wore over 20 years ago. So on the first ship I was stationed on, I was flight deck crash and salvage team. Basically, if the helicopter crashed and lit up on fire, we would go out with the hoses and go put out the fire and help get the guys out. So had the red jersey and a red cranial. The one I wore then did not look anywhere near this fancy. That is freaking cool. I am so excited. Let's see if it fits. Oh, it's perfect. Oh man, that's gonna come in handy. Thank you, sir. Oh man, thank you, Lance. That was freaking cool, man. And slight modification. I'm gonna have to take the shell off to do this, but right here on top, I hope this shows up. There's a 1/4 inch hole. So little modification that he did for the cranial here is, I don't have my mounts, but I wanted the ability to stick a GoPro on my head, but I didn't want to use the adhesive mounts because I don't want that to fail. And I'd be absolutely horrified if a GoPro detached off my head because the sticky mount failed and went down an engine duct. So with that, I can actually bolt a mount to the helmet and have positive control over the camera so it won't go down an engine. Wow, that is cool. Man, I can't wait to put that to use when we put the A-4 in the sky later.
Charlie Foxtrot, Ellington, Tower, runway 17 right, wind 1105, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff.
Awesome, pretty good takeoff. So they're gonna go do their training thing. We're gonna go get another airplane for Vietnam War Flight Museum here in a second while they're up doing their training bit. Sorry about the angle. The sun's at the wrong position. Everything's getting backlit this time of day right now, so sorry about that, guys. That L-39 right there, that's Vietnam War Flight Museum's latest acquisition. She looks pretty good. All right, so while the A-4 is airborne right now, we came over to Lone Star to pick up the L-39. She's gonna move over to the Vietnam War Flight Museum, and then the A-4 is gonna recover over here at Lone Star, and she's gonna be back on display over here. So, that's what we got going on. That's why we're moving around airplanes. All right, unfortunately I couldn't catch the landing since we had to come over here to help recover the airplane because she's coming over here to Lone Star's ramp. T6 just came in. Believe the Stearman just flew overhead, so we're gonna see the A-4, the PT-19, and then the Stearman coming right to this ramp. Sweet. All right, quick proof of concept I want to try. I got this camera on my head, and we're going to move all the equipment back in. So see if we can get the first person perspective here. If this works, then it's good to go for underneath airplanes. Alrighty, got all the equipment back in, guys, and unfortunately, like I mentioned, I thought I hit the record button on that helmet-mounted camera just to make sure that that works, and it's pointed the right direction, and I thought it said record, and it didn't. In any event, so we're about to close up here. I'm gonna head over to Lone Star and take you guys with me to go along with why the F4 was over there, and see the A4 back over there as well. So we'll finish off over there at Lone Star. So hang tight, guys. Ah, there's one. I wonder how we get the F4 in on a deal like that. But there she is. Imagine she's cooled off by now. It's looking pretty good here in the hangar. Yeah, I don't remember how long our A4 is going to be here for, but in the meantime, she is right here at Lone Star Flight Museum. So if you guys want to swing by, this museum is so worth the visit, guys. They got a lot of awesome things here, including the two A4s that are here locally. So it's nice to see. But we're over here to go see what happened over in the Aviation Hall of Fame. Now, this is the hangar where the F4 was. So they put the two A4s together, and they had the F4 over there, and it was. From what Director of Flight Operations has told me, that the F4 was a huge hit, especially for the one fella that was just inducted into the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame. So that's where we're headed next. Let's go check this out. Here we go. So yeah, Al Cisneros, he flew the F4 in Vietnam, I believe over 150 combat missions there in Vietnam, and then later flew A4s. Then Tammie Jo Shults and Jeannie Leavitt. So that's class of 2025 here at the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame. So again, from what Jerry here at Lone Star said, when Al saw our F4, he got a bit emotional, and he remembered them very fondly. And I think one of his comments when he walked up to her and put his hand on the F4 is like, I don't remember them being this big. But it was really cool that we could help support an event like that for Al and the other inductees as well. Tammie Jo Shults, if you guys aren't familiar, or if that name rings a bell, she was the captain of that Southwest Airlines flight that had a catastrophic engine failure, and they had to do an emergency divert and landing. I don't remember the exact details of that, but that was the one that that damaged the fuselage and injured one of the passengers, and that passenger died from his injuries. But I remember hearing of that incident and then hearing the ATC comms from that, and wow, to deal with an emergency like that and stay cool, calm, and collected on the radio, wow, that's awesome. And Jeannie Leavitt there, one of the first female fighter pilots, and also one of the first to command a fighter wing. So that's pretty awesome. Got some really cool inductees, but got some really cool sections here of the Aviation Hall of Fame here for Lone Star Flight Museum. So Really awesome. Hopefully you guys can come check this out one day. Like I said, this is so worth the visit. They got so much cool stuff here. So anyway, in order to not have this video run for way too long, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the A-4 flight, and we'll catch you in the next one.